Brandon Aiyuk trade rumors are hot across the National Football League as the star wide receiver went on TikTok and said, the 49ers, they don't want me. Aiyuk is looking for a contract extension. He wants to get paid. It sounds like the Niners do not value him at where he values himself, and now we're at a roadblock. And could a trade be coming? As Aiyuk mentioned on Instagram Live that the 49ers do not want him anymore. The quote that he told when he was on the phone with Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback for the Washington Commanders, is, they said they don't want me back. I swear. They don't want me. I swear. It's not that they don't want you, Brandon Aiyuk. It's that they can't afford you. They can't afford you. Could the Giants trade for him? There's been a lot of talk for a long, long time that the Giants are interested in Brandon Aiyuk. Jeremy Fowler says this: they're going to see what happens over the next 6 weeks leading into training camp. Talking about the Niners on Aiyuk. The 49ers want Aiyuk long-term in the fold, but so far they have not been willing to show that they're going to meet the market for wide receivers, which we're seeing these massive numbers. Amon-Ra St. Brown in Detroit, $30 million. Justin Jefferson, well above that. Aiyuk believes he's a top guy, and so something's got to give. And so he's worked himself into a top 10 receiver conversation. We'll see. Not a lot of momentum right now. Not a lot of optimism. It's almost like the guy with the widow's peak, who was a little bit bigger than this at the time, 16 months ago, sat right here on this channel and told everybody watching, there is no way the San Francisco 49ers could pay Brandon Aiyuk. We told you that 16 months ago. I told you, you can't pay Fred Warner. You can't pay Trent Williams. You can't pay everybody. And Brandon Aiyuk was always going to be the sacrificial lamb for the 49ers. Told you that 16 months ago, but we're just a clickbait channel at this point, right? I do remember, though, that the New York Giants had interest in Aiyuk before the draft, and I had also heard last year that the New York Giants had interest in trading for Brandon Aiyuk. That was before, though, the New York Giants selected Malik Neighbors, number 6 overall. My guy, Pretty Ricky, the People's Insider, shout out to him. If you don't follow him, you need to. He's been right on dang near everything. He knew the Trevor Lawrence. When is Ricky miss? Ricky don't miss, baby. He said, look at the date, April 18th, 2024. The Patriots swung hard for Calvin Ridley during free agency and missed out. I expect them to be aggressive going after Aiyuk to help out the new rookie quarterback. Blank, who cares? As mentioned earlier, Washington and Giants are also in play and have also made offers to the Niners. Pretty Ricky reported the Giants made an offer for Brandon Aiyuk back on April 18th. If you're going to trade for Aiyuk, though, it's not just a pick package that you're going to have to give up. You're also going to have to carve out a large percentage of the salary cap because the man wants to get paid. He wants the bag. Bag talk. That's what Brandon Aiyuk wants. He wants to be paid like a top 10 wide receiver. He wants to join the list of the highest paid wide receivers in the National Football League. Should he be? I'm not so sure. Justin Jefferson leading the charge now after getting that mega extension. A.J. Brown right there, Tyreek Hill there. Look, if you have a number 1 receiver on your team, it costs a whole lot of money. And you'd have to pay him that money. But it also would cost you a first-round pick. And if you're looking at the savings account and you're looking at the checking account and you're trying to factor in how many days it takes to go to the savings to the checking, I just don't think the Giants are currently in a spot where they could trade for Brandon Aiyuk and pay him the money that they want to. I know they were interested in him at the draft, reportedly even made trade offers. I just think that after the move of Malik Neighbors, it doesn't make all that much sense. What do you think? Should the Giants trade for Brandon Aiyuk? I think he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. The total package as a receiver. He can create separation. He can take the top off. His route running at the short, intermediate, and deep parts of the field is one of the best in the NFL. Contested catch rate. He's elite. T for trade, P for pass. I'm not passing on the player Brandon Aiyuk. I'm not passing on the production of Aiyuk. I'm passing on giving up a first-round pick and committing a 4-year, $120 million contract to pay Aiyuk. Because where the Giants are at, salary cap health-wise, draft pick-wise, probably need to draft a quarterback in the first round next year so you don't trade a first-round pick It just does not make all that sense. The Giants would absolutely be better, though, if they added Brandon Aiyuk. But they already have their wide receiver one. They already pushed that chip into the center of the table and set them all in on this wide receiver one. And his name is Malik Neighbors. I bet if the Giants would have drafted a quarterback at number 6 overall, whether it be McCarthy, whether they traded down, whether they selected Penix or whoever, then they would have been even more motivated to go get Aiyuk. But once you put in the draft card to Roger Goodell that said, with the 6th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants are selecting Malik Neighbors, wide receiver, LSU, I just ultimately think that Brandon Aiyuk trade and that dream was dead. Coming up next, though, I want to break down, coming up right now, what Jordan Raanan of ESPN, insider for the New York Giants, had to say about Malik Neighbors. Because if you've been following this channel for quite some time, we've been singing the praises of Neighbors. And we've told you he's looked like the best player on this team at camp in the spring. This is what Raanan wrote for an ESPN article saying, quote, "It didn't take long for the Giants' top pick to make a strong impression." Quote, "I mean, he can do everything," quarterback Daniel Jones said. Neighbors spent the spring flashing his special talent and making plays all over the field with the first-team offense, which the Giants' hope is a sign of things to come. Malik Neighbors is the best weapon Daniel Jones has ever had. He's better than Kenny Golladay. He's better than Darren Waller. He's better than any Paris Campbell. And he's also better, I'll go out and say it. He's going to be a better football player than Saquon Barkley. He will be a better football player than Saquon Barkley when things are wrapped up. But the thing that I love the most, the thing I'm most excited for about Neighbors is how well he's doing at training camp, where he's not even able to do the thing he does best. These are non-padded practice. These are light contact to no contact practices. Neighbors is flashing for what he's doing as a route runner, for a separator, for a guy that takes the top off, for the crazy catches. But a reason Malik Neighbors was selected inside the top 6 is because once the ball's in his football hands, he's one of the harder people to bring down. His ability to break tackles, his ability to eat up green grass, his ability to get north and south. The yards after the catch is what makes Malik Neighbors so successful and such a star, and we haven't even seen him do that yet on the football field. The guy made 30 tacklers miss in the SEC last year, 4th best in college football. He had 624 deep yards, 3rd in college football. The dude with the ball in his hands is like a running back. He's built like Deebo Samuel. He moves like Deebo Samuel. We haven't even seen his best skills on display yet, and everybody that has watched him play has talked about how special he is, because when you watch him on the field, the dude just moves different. They all do, all the receivers that come out of LSU and get selected in round 1. I do want to take a little bit of time to talk about this. Marshall, aren't you worried that Malik Neighbors is going to suck because of Daniel Jones' quarterback? Marshall, aren't you worried that Neighbors is so good that he's going to be pissed off at Daniel Jones? Sure, maybe. But the idea that Malik Neighbors will struggle because Daniel Jones' quarterback is funny. I went back and looked up some guy's highlights and his stats with the Giants. His name is Golden Tate. There is not a single NFL evaluator of talent that would say that Golden Tate is a more talented player than Malik Neighbors, right? There is not a single player that's ever been important in a person in the NFL that says that Golden Tate is a better prospect than Malik Neighbors, right? And a 32-year-old Golden Tate in 23 games with the Giants had over 1,000 yards, 84 receptions, 12.7 yards per catch, and 8 touchdowns. And I think, wait, who was the quarterback for Golden Tate? Who was the quarterback for the 32-year-old Golden Tate that was actually pretty dang good for the Giants? Oh, shit. That's right. It's Daniel Jones. You know what good people do? Good people at work, good people in life, and good football players. More importantly, great receivers. You know what great receivers do? They make it easy for their quarterbacks. You know what people good at their job do? They make it easy for the people that aren't so good at their job. Malik Neighbors will elevate Daniel Jones. He will make life for Daniel Jones easier. Why? Because it's always going to be a good play. when Malik Neighbors has the football in his hands. At the end of the season, we are going to be talking about Neighbors not only already being the best Giants on this team, or Giants receiver on this team, we're going to talk about him being one of the best Giants receivers since that dude with the yellow mohawk. And it doesn't just have to be him. It doesn't have to just be him. He's got talent around him. This isn't Cleveland Cavaliers in 2007 where it's LeBron and Boobie Gibson and a bunch of slappies. There's some good football players on this team at receiver. Darius Slayton is a solid player. Jalen Hyatt should be better if the team can block. Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, could be a surprise player this year and be someone that's a focal point of this offense out of the slot. Malik Neighbors is going to be awesome, and I can't wait to watch him play football this year, man. We haven't seen an offensive player like this since Odell Beckham Jr. Every single time he touches the football, we're going to be holding our breath saying, oh, he might go. There he goes. There. We're going to be watching that. Every time he touches the rock, he may just be dancing in the end zone. If you're ready to watch Malik Neighbors play football this year, hit that thumbs up icon for me. And if you haven't yet, I kindly ask everybody to please give me a follow on social media. I'm on Twitter @MarshallGreen_, and I'm @MarshallGreen_ on Instagram. Hit me up over there. Give me a follow so my boss can stop telling me my social media stinks.